Ed eccolo, che attraversa il corridoio. He's arriving on the stage, Darren Criss! Okay, before starting, we have a welcome video for Darren. So we watch together, and after that we have the Q&A session. So we can sit here and watching the video. Darren, welcome to Giffoni.
Holy shit!
Oh mio Dio!
I want to meet this guy.
Lo voglio incontrare sto ragazzo.
Who is this Darren guy? He sounds like a real stand-up chum.
Questo sembra proprio un ragazzo da dover incontrare,
Man.
fuori dal comune.
That was insane. Thank you for that.
È
That was
pazzesco, grazie.
wow. That was weird. Thank you.
Okay, we have here in the room three kind of jurors with the green light, the jurors from 13 to 15 years old, generators plus 13. With the darker green, the people from 16 to 18 years old, generators plus 16. And with the black T-shirt, the people from 18 plus and 18 to 90 years old. Okay.
Can I just say that I've been looking forward to this most all day, so I'm very excited. I've been listening to kind of everyone's story about where everyone's coming from and the process of being a juror. It's so cool. So I'm really excited to get to hear from you guys, and this is really amazing. So thank you. I've been looking forward to this.
Devo dire che questo è il momento che ho aspettato per tutta la giornata, essere qui con voi, essere un giurato, voglio dire, è un compito importante, quindi sono veramente felice di essere qui.
Okay, say cheese. In medio con pane, hold on. Okay. Grazie.
So it's your time for the questions. Where is the microphone? Okay.
Quanti italiani qui?
About 400.
Lo so.
I know.
Okay. Hi, Darren. My name is Rose from Nigeria.
Hi, Rose from Nigeria.
Oh, hi. Okay. Thank you for being here. And I want to ask. I know you do TV series like Glee, and then you do theater like Broadway, and then you do movies. I want to ask where you're most comfortable in. Like, which one comes natural to you? Which one you find easier? Yeah.
Allora, tu fai teatro, televisione, film. Mi piacerebbe capire in quale di questi ambienti ti senti più a tuo agio, quale senti più affine.
I think I feel the most at home in theater, simply because that's. Well, I don't know why you would cheer for that, but it just happens to be where I spend most of my life, in theaters. Ever since I was young, and doing it in like many of you, if you have an interest in acting, chances are you did something with your high school or college, university, or wherever you're going to. A liceo. It's like you do it in a theater. So that's where I feel most at home, because that's where I kind of fostered my love of acting, I guess. So I'd always prefer to do a play or a musical, because that's where. Selfishly, that's where the actors have the most power. Not like I'm power hungry, but a lot of the story's up to the actors. If you're doing television and film, there's a lot of people. There's producers and there's it's a huge machine. If you're doing a play with two people on stage, that's it. It's just the two of you, and so there's a community to that is really special to me, and that's why I will always go back to the theater. Yeah.
Allora, credo di poter dire che mi sento più a casa in teatro, un po' perché con come penso un po' per tutti, è venuto naturale all'inizio, quando ho scoperto la mia passione per la recitazione, cominciare come dire, a iscrivermi alle audizioni proprio al liceo, poi al college, ed è una cosa che forse condividete anche voi come esperienza, per cui è stato questo che ha nutrito principalmente la mia passione per la recitazione. E poi il teatro ti dà, lo dico un po' egoisticamente, anche una maggiore libertà come attore, una maggiore libertà espressiva, perché sul palco sei tu e magari un'altra persona ad interagire. Questa condivisione arricchisce molto l'esperienza di recitazione, mentre per quanto riguarda il film, i film e la TV, c'è tutto intorno una grossa macchina di produzione, come sapete, che chiaramente deve funzionare, e questo inevitabilmente separa e limita un po' i ruoli, cosa che invece in teatro accade molto meno.
Thank you. Okay.
Hi, Darren.
Hello.
I'm Shirley from Israel.
Hello.
Okay, so you played in the Harry Potter musical on Broadway?
Keep going.
Okay. If you could play Harry Potter at the movie, would you do it?
Allora, tu hai partecipato a un musical su Harry Potter a Broadway. Se potessi interpretarlo in TV, al cinema, lo faresti?
Well, just to clear it up, only because not everybody is familiar. Harry Potter was not on Broadway. I think we would all know if it was on Broadway. But if I was given the chance to play Harry Potter, I don't think it'll ever be possible, because somebody already did that, and I also already did that. Sure, if they were dumb enough to make another Harry Potter movie and dumb enough to cast me, I wouldn't say no.
Allora, tanto per chiarire, Harry Potter non è stato messo in scena a Broadway, e se fosse possibile interpretare per me quel ruolo, credo è già stato fatto, quindi non credo che sarebbe... Certo, se facessero un altro film, un nuovo film, e mi volessero nel cast, perché no?
Thank you.
Thank you.
You should watch it. It's called a Harry Potter musical. It's really funny.
And it's amazing.
Dovreste guardarlo, si chiama The Harry Potter Musical.
Yeah.
Hi,
Check it out.
Darren.
Hi there.
I'm Roberta from Italy.
Hi, Roberta.
And I just want to thank you.
You're welcome. No, I'm kidding. I don't know what that means. I'm kidding.
My question is about Edwig and the Young Range. And the ending of Edwig and the Young Range has always been a great source of debate. And John Cameron Mitchell himself refuses to define it. I think that everybody takes from it what they need in that moment. And I want to know, what did you think when you first saw it? And how did your interpretation help you to prepare for the role?
Well, that's a very... Oh, do you want to... It's a very interesting question. If you're not familiar with the show, it's very hard to explain out of context, because it's a very... it's just too difficult. So if you haven't seen Hedwig, I'm sorry if this makes no sense to you. You can watch the film and maybe create your own answer. But for me, I always thought of it. I mean, yes, I think that is true. I think everybody walks away with their own interpretation, and that's the most important thing. I happen to have believed, that they are one and the same. That Tommy and Hedwig are one and the same, and that, whether Tommy was a real person or, I guess sort of a figment or a symbol in his own brain of this other person within himself. I think at the very end, where she forgives Tommy and she forgives herself, she literally walks away having made peace with everybody, and that's what has kept her divided, throughout her whole life, has been her own personal turmoil with herself and with everybody else. So when she, sort of forgives herself and those around her, she redeems herself and becomes the one person. But that's not a novel concept. A lot of people seem to think that one. That's one that I happen to believe. But yeah, I think whatever you take away from the show was what the answer is to you. It's hard to explain if you haven't seen the show. I'm sorry.
Non è facile spiegare questa cosa a chi non ha visto il musical, però la mia e certamente ciascuno di noi se ne va dando una sua interpretazione di come finisce. La mia personale potrebbe essere che alla fine Hedwig si riconcilia con Tommy, perché alla fine loro sono due parti della stessa persona, e quindi lei fa pace con se stessa e supera tutto questo questo calderone di emozioni che ha dentro, riconciliandosi per l'appunto con se stessa e con la propria vita. Questa è quella però che è la mia interpretazione. Non è facile, come dire, darla per certa se non si è visto lo show, perché ciascuno di voi può anche trarre delle conclusioni diverse. Vorrei sapere
Compliments for a really good question. Yeah.
per prima cosa è una domanda bellissima.
I have to sit on that for a while. I have to think about that. It's a very interesting concept. What is music giving me that acting hasn't? Well, I mean, there's the details are very technical. I think music, when I listen to music, I experience it differently than non-musicians. I'm very mathematical about it. To me, I hear numbers, I hear chords, I hear the physical structure of music. I'm sure it's the same way a dancer watches a ballet. You kind of understand the way things are done. So, the inspiration that I get is stuff that's very, almost, even though it's very concrete to me when I get inspired from songs, even though the emotion is abstract, the actual songs themselves as works of art are concrete, and so the inspiration I take are very specific chords and notes and melodies. Whereas with acting, it is very abstract. I can't take away someone's performance. It's so it's not a concrete thing, to me at least. So it's cool to be inspired by both constantly and to have the sort of yin and yang of both. What does acting give me? Man, that's a great question. I really would have to think about that. But I think, yeah, music is great because I can get concrete inspiration, and acting and performance I can get abstract. Yeah.
È una domanda sulla quale vorrei avere il tempo di riflettere bene, perché devo dire che la musica mi dà molto un'ispirazione molto tecnica. Io quando ascolto la musica la ascolto in maniera proprio analitica, matematica, cioè prendo la struttura, come per esempio può fare un architetto quando guarda una costruzione, vede le finestre, vede i piani, vede come sono strutturate le linee. È questo che mi dà la musica, struttura, anche se c'è l'emozione chiaramente, però l'emozione in questo caso per me quando ascolto è separata dal mio ascolto tecnico, mentre questo con la recitazione non si può fare, perché io non posso estrapolare dalla performance di un attore la performance o l'attore, cioè restano comunque un tutt'uno unico, cosa che invece con la musica posso fare, per cui credo che sia questo quello che mi dà l'uno e mi dà l'altro, cioè la musica mi dà un'esperienza molto concreta, mentre la recitazione mi dà un'ispirazione più astratta.
Are you guys bored yet? Are you bored? Are we good?
Siete annoiati?
Okay, I hope so. I know. I talk a lot too when I'm not singing. Sorry.
Io parlo tanto.
You can see the attention they have. They are so
I know.
focused on you
I
and
know.
your
Better watch what I say.
very, very silent. Because when they lose attention, they become very noisy. But
Yeah, I
now,
can tell. No, you guys
they are very silent,
are well
like
behaved.
Okay. Where is the microphone? Okay, on the back.
Hi, my name is Ali. I'm from Qatar. I'm a big fan of Glee. I watched all the series. So my question is, if you could meet anyone go like back to the history, who could it be and why?
Se potessi incontrare qualcuno, se potessi tornare indietro nella storia, chi ti piacerebbe incontrare e perché?
Well, that's a really large question because there's been a lot of people to walk this planet. There's a lot of historical figures I think any of us would be lucky to talk to. And there's people in the entertainment industry that I think that's usually what people mean when they ask that question. But for me, yeah, I mean, Jesus, Buddha, Siddhartha, and like all these people I would love to get a drink with and kind of talk about everything, just kind of see where we all sit about everything in life. That would be really cool. That'd be a really cool discussion.
In effetti ci sarebbero tantissimi personaggi storici per avere desiderio di incontrare. Io certamente anche nel mondo dello spettacolo sarebbe bello nominare qualcuno, però se vi devo dire la verità, il primo che mi viene in mente con il quale mi piacerebbe condividere una birra è Gesù. Però per non diventare troppo specifico a livello religioso, direi che mi piacerebbe condividere questa birra anche con Maometto, con Buddha, con Siddhartha e tutti, per vedere un poco che cosa pensano della situazione attuale del mondo.
Night. We would have a great time.
Sarebbe sicuramente un momento fantastico.
Yeah. Hit the club. That'd be great.
A Beer with Jesus is a perfect title for a movie.
Beer with Jesus.
A Beer with Jesus.
Yeah.
Come on, Jesus, take
Come
a beer
on,
with
Jesus,
me.
yeah.
Good.
And if they're out of wine, you're set. We'll just,
St. Mary B. beers. Okay.
we have infinite wine source.
Perfetto titolo per un film.
Hi, I'm here.
I am here too. We're all here.
I'm Maggie from Georgia. I really enjoy the work you do. What would I like to mention is that you became this well-known big star by just making videos on YouTube, which is really a big platform for an artist. Glee, Harry, IT Boy. I would like to know what was the thing that motivated you to take this difficult path, and maybe you have some keys of success. Can you share with us? Thank
Allora,
you.
tu sei così poliedrico, hai avuto successo sia su YouTube che come interprete di serie televisive, hai fatto Hedwig a Broadway. Vorrei sapere come sei riuscito a realizzare tutto questo, qual è stato il sentiero che hai percorso e se hai dei consigli, magari delle dritte da dare a noi.
Well, you said something very interesting, which is that YouTube is a platform for a lot of people. At the time, it wasn't. You know, we forget that YouTube is only a few years old. iPhones are only 8 years old. I mean, it's kind of scary how new everything is. Films are only just shy of 100 years old. So YouTube at the time was not a mode by which to sort of gain a career. It was a complete accident for us. For a lot of people that started off on YouTube, it just started as a simple video for their friends or for themselves, and it took on a life of its own. Nowadays, people try and, you know, there are YouTube series and there are YouTube stars out there that you know, have a whole career because of YouTube. But that was not the intention for us. It was a complete accident. So when you asked for keys for success, I mean, we had no idea. It was a complete and utter accident when we posted that video. Posting that video on the internet was easier than, you guys probably don't even remember this, but making DVDs, actual DVDs, which people don't use anymore because we live in a streaming world now. But any videos that we wanted to share with each other, uploading on the internet was easier than spending hours printing DVDs and then mailing them to everybody. So YouTube was brand new. So we're like, oh, do you know this YouTube thing? Why don't we upload it to that? And that way you can see it. But it's public, so everybody can see it, not just our friends. So that's first thing. As far as what made me decide to go on this path, I didn't know I'd be on this path. I always wanted to be an actor. I didn't know that it would lead me here in front of all of you in Giffoni. I mean, and even if I didn't, I'd still be happy because as long as I'm doing work that I care about. So, you know, wherever I end up is only a result of me doing projects that I think that I have a lot of passion for, and but the road that it actually leads to, I'm almost not really in charge of. Does that make any sense?
Allora, per quanto riguarda YouTube, voi ragazzi non lo sapete, ma la tecnologia che voi usate adesso è nuovissima, il cinema stesso ha solo 100 anni di vita, per cui quando abbiamo caricato il video su YouTube all'epoca è stato più per una necessità tecnica che non per una consapevolezza di quanto questa piattaforma avesse di potenziale. Oggi voi lo usate, i ragazzi lo usano, ci sono anche delle grandi star di YouTube che lo usano per pubblicare le loro serie. All'epoca, quando noi abbiamo fatto questo video, abbiamo pensato di di caricarlo su YouTube, semplicemente perché era più semplice che farne le copie in DVD e spedirle a tutti gli amici a cui avremmo voluto mostrare questo video, per cui per noi è stata come dire, una forma più veloce di condivisione. In questo senso sì, è stata un'intuizione, però abbiamo pensato al pubblico. Poi in effetti quando abbiamo caricato il video ha assunto una vita propria che appunto ci ha portato fortuna, ma per quanto ci riguarda non era intenzionale, ci è capitato, e così come a me è capitato di intraprendere questo percorso. Quindi per quanto riguarda consigli da dare a voi, in realtà il risultato di quello che faccio vi posso dire che è il risultato del lavoro che io cerco di fare sempre, cioè quando io da sempre ho voluto recitare, ho cominciato a farlo, non sapevo che mi avrebbe portato un giorno qui sul palco davanti a voi di Giffoni, e dovunque mi porti il mio lavoro io sono contento perché è il risultato del mio esercizio quotidiano della mia passione, cioè recitare o fare musica, eccetera.
Yeah, you're the ones that kind of decide what I get to do, because Glee wouldn't be a hit without you guys. So, you know, and that's not even me being nice.
Siete voi che decidete dove vi porta il vostro sentiero. Glee non sarebbe il grande successo che è se non ci foste voi.
Yeah. I would have been doing what I do with or without you guys, but because I have you guys, let me put it this way, I was going to be driving my little acting music car off-road, on-road, wherever. I would have driven it anywhere, but you guys have paved a very, very nice street for me to go on, and for that I'm, extremely grateful.
Con questo voglio dire che io non è che non avrei recitato sempre e comunque, avrei fatto la mia strada, più tortuosa o meno tortuosa, ma quello che voglio dire è che voi l'avete resa molto, molto più facile da percorrere grazie al successo che avete tributato a Glee.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
Ok.
Come le braccia. That can't be good for your arm.
Hi,
non
I'm
va bene per...
Vivian. I'm from Holland. Here.
Hi.
And my question is actually like, when you were a child or a teenager and you were imagining what it might be like to work in the entertainment industry, is it what you imagined it would be like, or is it very different? Thank you.
Allora, quando eri un ragazzo e pensavi di lavorare nell'industria dell'intrattenimento, come lo immaginavi? E hai trovato poi differenze? Ti ha in qualche modo cambiato opinione?
That's a very interesting question, because there are so many different sides of the entertainment industry. I always say that in my university, I went to Michigan, and for my particular program, and in programs across the world, in whatever country, Juilliard or what have you, they're preparing you to be an actor, not a person in the entertainment industry. Those are two different things. This industry has nothing to do and everything to do with my passion as an actor. Me playing a part and doing the work and the craft of acting, it's almost unfortunate that it is tied with a very different set of skills, which is being able to hustle, being able to deal with rejection, and a lot of things that are very difficult about the entertainment industry itself. So it is sort of what I expected, in the sense that I knew that it would be hard to keep up, but I could have never imagined some of the crazy things that have happened. I mean, it's a wild world, Hollywood. It's a very wild place, and I'm very lucky to be in that world, but it's crazy.
Allora, quando studiavo per diventare un attore e quando pensavo di entrare nell'industria dell'intrattenimento, in realtà io mi preparavo e mi preparavano all'università a fare l'attore, non a fare qualunque altra cosa nel settore dell'intrattenimento, nell'industria del cinema, perché l'industria del cinema è molto complessa, è così piena di ruoli e di cose che si fanno, di persone che fanno queste cose, quindi che ti mette di fronte a tanti tipi di persone diverse con le quali tu ti devi relazionare, devi essere capace di insistere, devi essere capace di accettare anche dei rifiuti quando è il momento, quindi sicuramente ti mette moltissimo alla prova, però appunto la mia formazione era quella di attore, non era quella di parte di questa certo ti forma tanto, io mi sento privilegiato e fortunato a far parte di questo mondo del cinema, però vi posso dire anche che Hollywood in qualche modo è proprio un posto di matti, pazzo.
Thank you.
Hey there. Hey. Hi.
Hi there.
Hi, I'm Federica. Welcome to Giffoni. I'm from Italy. And I'm a very big fan of Star Kid and of a Harry Potter musical. So I'd really like to know how this totally awesome musical came to life. And since we had Tom Felton, which is the original Draco Malfoy right here, I'd really like to know why you and the team choose Lauren, which is a girl, to play the role of Draco, which is a boy.
Allora,
Thanks
io
a lot.
sono una grande fan e vorrei sapere com'è nato il musical su Harry Potter e come mai voi avete scelto per la parte di Draco, visto che Tom Felton è stato qui, come mai avete scelto una ragazza per farlo interpretare?
First of all, Tom has been very receptive and very funny about that. I've seen several clips of him talking about Lauren Lopez, which is...
Tom si è divertito moltissimo su questa cosa, io ho visto dei video dove lo dichiara.
Yeah, the fact that he knows Lauren Lopez's name to me is very, very cool. Well, you have to understand that I didn't know I'd be talking about a Harry Potter musical years later with an audience full of people from all over the world. I had no, that wasn't the intention. The metaphor that I used to say about a Harry Potter musical is we threw a party, right? We had a house party where we had a really, really great time. Everybody had a really great night. And there were some really funny moments with certain people. And somebody filmed it. And then years later, thousands of people ask me about that party who weren't even at that party. So that's the comparison. That's how strange it is to me. This was something that was very much just in our own circle of friends that, by accident or by the grace of something higher, became this international thing. And I'm just thrilled that it made sense to anybody because we were just kidding amongst ourselves, especially to somebody from another language. So it came to be because it was just a joke with our friends. We did shows all the time. We just didn't film them, and YouTube wasn't around. So who knows what would have happened had we started filming things and posting them on the internet earlier. But it came to be just because we were having a good time and just having a laugh. And we chose Lauren because she was just there.
Allora, mi sembra stranissimo dopo anni parlare di questo musical con un pubblico internazionale. È nato per il divertimento che c'è stato fra noi amici. È stranissimo sentirsi chiedere, ci fu una festa dove noi eravamo riuniti, durante la quale ci divertimmo tantissimo e a un certo punto cominciammo a fare delle scene, degli sketch che cominciammo anche a filmare a un certo punto. All'epoca poi questa non la postammo perché non c'era ancora questa prospettiva, chissà che cosa sarebbe successo se l'avessimo fatto, però ripeto, con tutto lo straniamento di dover ricordare una cosa ormai così lontana, è nata proprio dal divertimento fra noi amici di aver fatto questo materiale e di volerlo in qualche modo approfondire, e poi la scelta di Lauren è venuta proprio spontanea.
Is there anybody here that doesn't speak English at all? Or
C'è qualcuno di voi che non parla proprio inglese per niente qui?
Okay, good. Okay, just wondering. Just want to make sure.
To avoid to skip the translation.
Oh, only because I talk a lot, and well, you're so good. I don't want to. Just to make it, just so we can answer more questions. More time to answer questions. Is that okay? I'm sorry, you're getting demoted. It was more just because I realized that it takes a lot of time, and I know there's a lot of people who have a lot of questions.
It's an opportunity for them to
answer more questions. Yeah. I'm so sorry if you can't understand.
If it's possible for you, yes.
Is that okay? I'm so sorry to the groups of you that don't speak English.
They have to learn English.
Yeah.
So
I just want to be able to answer more questions,
okay,
and I know
perfect.
because my responses are long, I'd hate to demote you, Katerina. You can still answer for me if you want. You can still answer for me if you want. That's just so we can get more questions because we don't have too much time, and I'd like to answer as many questions as possible.
Okay, her turn.
Hi, I'm Guanta from Georgia. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
So my question is, the people who know you mostly know you because of Glee. And I wonder now, should we expect you on TV or like on cinemas, or is it going to be just Broadway now? I wonder what will happen to your career now.
Well, the thing about being an actor is that, you know, I always say this. I'm a mercenary. You know, I'm a bounty hunter. I basically am chasing whatever the next thing is, and if that happens to be a play or a movie or a TV show, you know, it's so be it. To me, it's all about doing projects or roles that really interest me and that I think have value to me personally, so it's hard to know because I never know what the next gig is. I didn't know that I'd be doing Hedwig a year ago. I didn't know I'd be doing this film in Italy a year ago. So who knows? Who knows? I certainly didn't know I was going to be on Glee. When Glee hit the United States, and I was a senior in college, it was a big thing. People loved that show, and I didn't really watch it. I didn't know too much about it, but I knew that it was a big deal. And you know, a year later or a year and a half later, I was on that show, and I didn't know, you know, that I could be on it. So it's anyone's guess. I just hope to continue to do. It's all about the content. You know, I don't categorize it by the type of project it is. I'm interested in the role and the story, and you know who I get to work with. That's really what matters. Yeah.
Thank you. Cool. There is a girl from Malta, one from Azerbaijan, then someone from Italy. Okay. Where's the microphone?
Yeah, I want to talk to everybody from all over the world. This is cool.
Hi, Darren. Here.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Alessandra from Italy, and I know that you've just finished your shows in Broadway. So, firstly, congratulations. And secondly, I'd like to know how can you describe this experience with one word and why? Thank you.
One word. I can't describe anything in one word. Thrilling. It's a thrill, you know. Yeah, it's thrilling to do any of that stuff. It's like a roller coaster. I love roller coasters, so it's a thrill.
Thank you.
Oh, you don't have to clap. Unless I say something really interesting, you don't have to clap. Save your hands. Your arms are already probably broken by now.
Where's the mic? Here. Yeah, okay. Foster?
Magic mic.
From Malta.
From Malta.
No, not Malta.
Not Malta.
Okay.
Malta, yes.
Oh,
Malta.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Josephine from Malta.
Hi, Josephine from Malta.
I would like to ask you, Glee is a show which speaks strongly against bullying, and which I'm sure you are a big supporter of.
Bullying?
Against bullying.
Kidding.
What would your response be if you were offered to play the contradicting role of a bully, or other roles which might go against your personal principles?
Well, again, it depends on what the context is. I mean, my job as an actor is, you know, you always have to empathize with your character. If you're playing a bad person, a good person, crazy person, whatever, you know, that's the point of the story. You know, bad people, as we know them, don't know they're bad people, or at least that you can assume that when you're acting. You know, my friend Max Adler, who played Karofsky, he was one of the main bullies on the show. He's a lovely guy, really nice guy, and a famously nice guy. And he, you know, it's part of the discussion that Glee brings about, which is anti-bullying. Well, you need a bully to bring out that discussion. So even if what you're saying is against what you believe in, playing that part is actually part of adding to that dialogue. So you know, that's equally as important. So as long as my personal beliefs are completely separate and understandably so from the characters I'm playing, as long as the characters have some substance to it, that's really all that matters to me. If it was senseless and stupid and you know, I was doing, if the message of the film or the play or the story was something, if the grand message was something negative, then I wouldn't be a part of it. But if a character was negative in the context of a positive message, then that's all part of the same thing. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Good.
Hi.
Yo.
I'm here. Well, my name is Youssef. I'm a big fan of yours. I always watch Glee.
Where are you from,
And
sorry?
I'm from Morocco.
Morocco, nice.
Well, my question is, since you're famous in Glee and everybody knows you here, why don't you record your own music and start being a real artist? And
Well, I mean, it's just something I haven't really gotten around to. I mean, it takes a bit of time, and I think if I was just like a singer, where I can kind of just take just a couple days, go sing some songs, and then knock it out, that would be kind of easier, and maybe I would have put something out. I mean, that's basically what I did on Glee. You know, you walk in for just an hour or two, and then that's the song. But because I'm a writer and a musician, it takes a little more time than that. I went on a tour a couple years ago where I played some songs that I didn't really put on any record, but I did it at the tour just to share those songs. I don't know, I just haven't been happy with enough material or happy with enough enough time to really put something together that I'm proud of. So that's basically what's kept me from doing that. Also been busy. I was doing a show, I was doing a TV show. If Glee was like 6 years ago and I haven't done anything since then, and if I hadn't had any music out, I'd be like, what's your problem? I'd be really upset by that. But I've been pretty occupied, and I didn't know, like I said, I didn't know I was going to be doing Hedwig. That opportunity came up, and I wanted to do that. So I'm very cursed and blessed by having the opportunity to do different things. But eventually, when the time really comes and I'm happy with enough material, sure, I'll put out something. But I've never really had aspirations of being I don't need to be like some kind of huge music pop star. That's not something that I'm like gunning for. If it happens, cool, I guess. But it's not my first and foremost priority. But again, if it happens, hey, cool. But yeah.
Hi, my name is Grace and I'm from Albania. Well, my question is there someone who has supported you and told you to believe in yourself and your dreams before you became famous?
I think that was a theme that was presented in most Saturday morning cartoons for my whole life. I mean, I think that believe in yourself, that's something that, I was lucky enough to have had teachers and family and people in my life that kind of instilled that in me. I realize now that that's almost something I took for granted. I never really felt like I couldn't accomplish my dreams. Not to say that I was so cocky and confident that I could do it. I don't mean it like that at all. Be very careful by that. What I mean is I always had a support system, and for that I'm extremely grateful. And I realized that not everybody has that, but I didn't realize it until I got older. I grew up in a community in San Francisco where things were very accessible to me, whether it was doing theater or taking music lessons, things that I know now are, not everybody has that access, and which is why I'm such a proponent and supporter of arts education, to give a lot of kids that have the talent and the drive, but they don't have the means to act upon them. That's why I'm so supportive of them, because I got really lucky, man, and that is not lost on me. But I think it was always instilled in me from teachers, this to keep trying and to keep working hard at it. And I think my father really instilled a sense in me of like, if you want to do something cool, it's as long as you work your ass off for it. It takes a lifetime to make an overnight success. And I think there's many artists and many people that God, who's a superstar? I mean, like you look at Jennifer Lawrence, okay? She's a huge superstar. Well, I don't know Jennifer Lawrence, but I'm just saying, this is somebody that is a household name, and people be like, oh yeah, Hunger Games. Well, even though she's very young, she's been acting since she was a kid and has been doing a lot of things to work up to that moment. So, it's work ethic that I think that my teachers and my parents always instilled that in me. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. From Azerbaijan, I think.
Hi, my name is Lala and I'm
Hello.
from Azerbaijan. My question is, what do you think is the biggest challenge of actors nowadays?
Well, there's two kinds of actors that we're thinking about, because I think for this crowd you might think of actors as, public figures, which again has almost nothing to do with acting itself. I'll talk about those actors then, because there's actors whose names we don't know, who are working in theaters all over the world, who aren't necessarily famous, but you know, I think that to live in a world of social media is a very, very interesting thing for all of us. You guys are in charge of that world because you are the youth power behind it. Us older people are just getting used to it, you know, like I still have difficulty with Instagram because I'm an idiot, even though technically I should be really good at it. You know, I didn't grow up with social media. I didn't grow up with that as a function of my teenage years. The fact that you guys have that is really shaping the way everything is happening. So when you think about actors and the way that they interact with people and the way they can make connections with people, the rules are changing every day, and I think keeping up with new social protocols of what's acceptable, what's not acceptable, the way public figures express themselves in social media is obviously a very hot topic. But I think, yeah, the biggest obstacle and the biggest challenge for a lot of artists now is how to harness social media correctly, if there is even a way to do it correctly, if it's a good thing, if it's a bad thing. And all of us are figuring that out, from the world officials to your gym coach. I mean, everyone's figuring out how to do this in a way that makes sense for everybody. So I think that's the biggest challenge.
Thank you.
Like, where does the lines of artist stop and become person, like a accessible person and artist? Like, how do those two things converge? I think that, and social media is the in-between. Anyway, done with that. It's a huge question.
I think the last two, one. Okay.
Two.
If it's possible, two. This one and the girl from Pakistan.
I could do this all day. I know I can't, but I'd like to. This is fun for me. I like, yeah. Especially for those of you that are like so bored right now. They're just like, ugh, get me out of here. I'm sorry if this is boring for you.
Absolutely not boring.
Hi.
Hi.
I was just saying that these three guys love you.
Oh, I'm glad they do. What about you? Great.
Okay, I love you too.
I'm kidding.
I really love you. I just have a boyfriend, so yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, good. Thanks for clearing that up. I was confused. You're giving me signals.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I would just talk about the LGBT, you know, lesbian, gays, bisexual, and transsexual, because I am very much focused on it on Glee. Mm-hmm. And I just want to hear your opinion on the problem, because homosexuals are still being down in the world, and in some countries they can't be themselves. So what's your opinion on the problem? What can we do?
Well, okay, first of all, that's a very broad question with a lot of... what's that?
I know that.
Well, okay, look, you know, I'm very happy to have been part of a show that shed light on the discussion of LGBT issues and a lot of the struggles that young people have specifically. You know, it's amazing that we live in a world where, you know, people will cite Glee as a place of inspiration for them all over the world. Where, you know, whether gay or straight, I think a lot of people found a lot of positivity from that show. You know, to be any connection with that community at large is really an honor. I mean, I just got a really, really great part. And it was somebody who stood for something greater than the sum of its parts. And I don't know. Look, I'm so pleased to meet so many young people that really connected with that show, and it meant something to them and has helped them in some kind of way. But you know, we have a long way to go. I mean, things are a bit easier for some folks in some parts of the world than they are for others. So I think having shows like Glee and having, you know, messages of positivity in any part of the media is always going to be a good thing, because there's always going to be people that feel marginalized, whether part of specifically the LGBT community or just in general. People will always feel marginalized, and that is always a personal struggle. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm just happy to wave that flag in any way that I can, you know, for future generations and anybody that feels, you know, suppressed or marginalized. I mean, I'm not even sure what you're asking. You just asked me to talk about a very big thing. So I don't even know where I'm going with this, other than I'm grateful to have been a part of a show that was positive, and I hope there continues to be shows like it that are positive for people that continue to struggle. I mean, that's all I can say. It's a lot.
Okay, very last question. No. Sorry. Sorry, it's a matter of time. It's not.
Hi, Darren. I'm Mahnur from Pakistan.
Hi.
I'm a huge fan of yours, and my older sister really likes your show. It's because of her that I started watching, and my friend here is also a huge fan.
Cool.
by the way.
Hi.
So I wanted to ask, Blaine and Kurt in the show Glee, they have this like this really epic love story. It's like on and off, you know, it's going on. And in the end, they get married and they end up together, and their love sort of shows that, you know, it can be infinite or, you know, everlasting. Is that your idea of love, or could you just explain what your idea of love is?
Well, you know, for the sake of Glee, it's a TV show, and it's a very sort of gleeful, you know, storyline. For lack of a better, you know, word, it deals in happy endings and bright new beginnings and all that stuff, which is great because that's part of the show's vibe, I guess. So. I mean, I have a very different image of what love is, but everybody does. I think it's very, everyone's circumstance is different. Love is all about timing and circumstance, and there's so many other big things that come into what love can mean to somebody. So so are you asking me if like love is forever and ever and yay? And I mean, it can be, sure. If that's what it is for you, then cool. You know, love is what it is to you, and I guess for them, yeah, they, you know, Kurt and Blaine deal in extreme. Glee deals in extremes, you know, extreme heartbreak, extreme, you know, success, and everything is heightened, and that's not a bad thing. That's just kind of the way the show works. So obviously, when we have their happy ending, it needs to be forever and ever, happy, yay, all that stuff. But I think they could have had just as happy of an ending, you know, even if it didn't have that sort of bow tied on it. You know, two people that care about each other and. You know, that's what more can you ask for? I don't know. Yeah. Oh, I'd rather keep answering questions, guys. Come on.
No.
Oh, right. That's right. If you don't ask the first time, it always works the second time.
It's very late. It's very late. We have to go. Sorry.
Other questions? No. Cool.
No, Tony's the bad guy, and he told me.
Oh, don't call Tony. That's terrible. Hate this guy.
Yeah,
that's so easy.
Okay.
Sorry, Tony.
Is
there any one last question before? Is that it?
Sorry, guys. It's very, very, very late. Sorry, because you can miss the boat to come back.
Well, let me say this very quickly. Thank you guys, for the video. That was very kind of you, and I'm so thrilled. There's so many people from all around the world. Being here and being a part of Giffoni, and you know, people were always asking me. They were asking me outside, "What's so exciting about Giffoni?" And it's really be in. You are the favorable people that everybody wants on their side. So the fact that you're on my side is pretty cool, and I'm very, very grateful, and I'm so glad that you could all be here from all over Italy, from all over the world, to celebrate your voice and your mind, and you should all be very proud of yourselves for being here and being a part of that. So I thank you again for being a part of this and welcoming me.
So we were very pleased to have having. Darren Criss here, and so this is the moment of the award. We have music.
It's so dramatic.
Our music.